Good evening. Hi guys, I didn't expect you two to be first in the queue. Gotta wave at you. Gotta wave at you. How you doing guys? You alright? Just doing the border on me nights while we wait for people to turn up. You know. Boosh. How you all doing? James, how you doing? Yeah, we're all doing good. Ultimately, that's all it's all about, isn't it? Everyone doing good. I'm alright, you know. I've had a nice day in work. It's been okay. Oh, how was Germany? How was Germany? Is it all good? Oh, the Warlord's looking nice, Danny. Yeah, it's looking good, that. I've got a couple down there. Ready to get started. You know. It's, yeah, quite exciting bits of kit, aren't they? James, what did you enter anything into the painting comp? Hey, both James and Mr. Billy Evil Sons there, everyone. Are, amazing painters. Go and follow them. Go and give them a follow. It's really funny lighting here. I did look lighter earlier on. Byron, how's it going, mate? Alright, I've not looked at the kit yet. Can't wait, to be honest. Squad with reworked angels. The same angels that you brought to salute. Hello, everyone. Mr. Colonel, how are you? Welcome to my hobby hideaway. Alright, what did you change about them, mate? Busy bee. Mate, I can imagine you are a busy bee, you know, especially when there's so many cool new releases coming out, etc, etc. You know, like I said, if you think I can ever help, just give me a shout. See what I can do, if anything. I don't know. So I'm just doing all these things at the moment. Here you go. Have a Swift. There you go. So I'm just doing all the trim on that lot. Then once I've got all the basic shapes on, then I'll start looking at them as individuals. Alright. Yeah, tidy up a few edges. Yeah, man. Yeah, good idea. Oh, right, yeah, the corners start to rub away. So did you place well? What did you get? What did you do? Evening, sweetheart. Hiya. Oh, good brew. Let's have a look, see if anyone said out while I was painting. Hello everyone, by the way. How do you say your name? Ah, yes, Pibby, or is Pibby. It's nice to know you remembered me. Thank you for that. What painting tips did I give you, by the way? Just having a flick through to see what folk are doing at the moment. Right, brilliant. Commended. Yeah, I can imagine in Europe it's heavy going. There's a completely different flavour of competition, isn't there? You know. But that's the way things are, I suppose, with paint comps. Snot Gull. I like that name. Pinning models. Yep. Pinning models. That is one of my... it's like a hobby gear grinder, pinning models. So many people think they know how to do it, and they really don't. And they do it so poorly. Then wonder why the models are all still falling apart. Do you remember what I said about pinning models? Let's see if you remember. Colonel, superb winning entries. I hope they were. I hope they were. How did you get on, by the way, with your marine? Mance Monster, hello. Oh, it's nice to see a few of you tonight. It's good. By the way, everyone, hit some questions my way. Do these videos just to help you guys. Yeah. So if you think I can help, you got 3 finalist pins. Fantastic, brilliant, man. Brilliant. Do you know, I think I might have even... Have you took a picture and put it on your page? I may have already liked it, actually. It's just 3 pins in a row. 14 years ago. Wow, so that's a testament to how long I've been working for Games Workshop, on and off. Wow, 14 years ago. I barely even feel older. I feel more experienced, but 14 years. I first started working for Games Workshop. 20 years ago. Not maybe more. It might even be 22 years ago. That's scary business, that, isn't it? What, 1996, something like that. Started working there. Yeah, worked in almost every incarnation of Games Workshop Manchester in some form or another, or I've been in them all. Wow. Really good days, the old Games Workshop days. At least, that's my nostalgia. Well, who watched me last video on the painting comp stuff, and then the live video I did randomly the other night when I was playing guitar about the follow-up ideas to do with competition painting and things like that. Because it did get a few comments and a few questions for me, which is what I want. Yeah, I want to know what everyone thinks, because if I'm asked to judge again, I want to know more. I always want to better the process for myself, which means being a better judge. But I do value what other people think. I'm glad you liked it. Is that from the first video, by the way, Cornel? Got you thinking about your next... How? Tell me how. How did it get you thinking about your next entries? And is that for Salute or for painting comps in general? What about anyone else as well? Anyone else inspired about painting comps and things like that? Do you like my mug? How awesome is that? I like it. It's like become my favourite mug. Let's have a scroll, see what folk have said. So, here's some thoughts for you. Can I show you my best miniature? I could show you one of my favourites. I'm not sure if I've actually ever done my best, if you know what I mean. A lot of people think Flower Night is my best miniature, but I don't have that. A good friend owns that, and they live miles and miles away. If you Google my name in the Flower Night, you'll see the model. I think the next best I've got here will be Ragnar. Here we go. So three models I really like looking at of my own. Let's see if we can set the lamp up so you guys can have a better view as well. Here we go. There we go. Right, okay, so might be a bit dusty these as well. So first up, this guy. His hat comes off. Yeah, you recognise him from me. Come on, focus, Mr. Thing. If I hide behind it, will it focus better? If I put my hand on it, will it focus better? Anyway, there you go. So there's that guy. I really enjoyed painting him. Right, and then let's get the comments back up. Ragnar Blackmane. I definitely enjoyed every little bit of Ragnar. You know, the camera seems to want to focus on me more than the model. Let's get it to focus on something the same distance away. Hide behind my hand. Yeah, so there you go. There's Ragnar Blackmane. But there's loads of pictures in my galleries anyway, so you know you won't be missing out. And then one of my more recent ones I really enjoyed, and I painted this at Christmas or just before Christmas. In fact, November actually. Was this guy. I really enjoyed painting him. I painted him when I was down in the Truro store at Games Workshop. Really enjoyed him. Mind doing more like that. You know, so yeah. So yeah, there's pictures down in my gallery if you go and have a look. Just put them somewhere safe. Really enjoyed this because I enjoyed painting textures and getting textures into the hat. You can actually see the textures into it. That was my aim, was to make this look as leathery as possible and get a lot of realism out of this guy, because you know not a lot of people see that kind of in me. And I say realism, it's my own interpretation of realism. Still, it's nice strong colours, which is what I like as well. Shove all them back there. Right, let's see what else people have said. So there you go, Snotgull. I hope that was good enough for you. Oh, right, okay. Colonel says mostly getting the right models for the right categories, and that a model has to make sense. Questioning the build and paint job, tiny extras, like not painting a Primarch's face onto a banner. Let's think. Some things can be overthought. The more you think about certain things, they'll start to become bogged down in your own mental processes. I would literally just go with what you enjoy most. I think that's what I've found most people get a lot of results out of is don't paint for a competition necessarily. Just paint out a passion and paint out the love of it and paint out the love of really getting to the peak of your skill, and then choose the models from that to go into a painting competition. And I reckon you do better. I mean, that's speculation on my part, but you know, I've seen painters do that. I've seen painters win with that idea. Well, not even that idea, but I've seen painters. I mean, ask David Soper about his last Golden Demon entry. You know, the Poxwalker. Go and ask him about that. You know, although he might be a little bit bogged down right now, but you know, at some point you get the opportunity to ask him if he was going to enter it, and ask him if he'd painted it for the comp. You know, so. And I can think of a few other people that have just done things, you know, just thrown something together in a night, or even, you know, a couple of nights before, and they've gone on to take home trophies. So the question is why? You know, you have got to love the process, not the outcome. Again, you know, I'm just going to blow some fluff off the camera. It's not kisses, by the way. Marina, yeah, I made sure I charged my battery before I got here. Do you need a lead? I've got a lead. Only kidding. Right, so yeah, the forgot what I was going to say now. Words, maybe somewhat wise. I don't know, maybe not. Whether I'm wise or not is for you guys to decide, not me. Oh, there we go. Danny Nuttall just reminded me. Yeah, so. Love the process, not the outcome. You know, for example, I spoke about the two categories that I thought were a lot weaker at Salute. You know, the bronze trophies went home with bronzes, but that doesn't make them as good as any other bronze from any other category. It means that they were the third best thing along. That doesn't mean you were at a certain level of painter. Do you know what I mean? So if only 3 painters entered and one had been painted by someone who literally doesn't know what they're doing, and 3 trophies had to be given, that doesn't make this lower end trophy that maybe just been base coated, doesn't make that guy that good. It makes him as good as his painting is, not as good as his trophy says he is. You know, so I always come back to myself, weirdly. You know, so when Golem was at its height, you know, we were doing paint jobs for so many different companies, for so many different people worldwide, and we had so many painters. You know, I had a pretty good reputation, I'd like to think, I'd hope. You know, and I wasn't quite myself back then as well. But at the end of the day, I'd done all that without a trophy. Do you know what I mean? I'd done all that on just painting. You know, and that's a fact. I've done it all on just trying my best. You know, and in that trying my best, I was really ill at the time, which I always keep coming back to that. I'll let it go. Ill, done. But the fact of the matter is, me and the guys at Golem together, we built something awesome, I think. You know, we built it on no money, on no loans, on just good work, just good results. Not on trophies. So, you know, that's just what that is. So if I can do that, and who am I? Me. You know, then you guys can be awesome at painting. So I hope that means something to you. You know, so your trophy isn't necessarily a reflection of your skill. It's just a reflection of who was there on the day. You know, I mean, if you're going to go to a competition like Golden Demon Classic, where literally every painter ever that's going to be amazing, you know, if you're going to get a trophy at that kind of level, then that's right, there's some really good painters there, you know. So if you're going to set your sights high, then set your sights that high, but you still have to better yourself. That's the ultimate point. You still have to look at yourself, and you still have to enjoy the process. So blah 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 blah. Right, let's see what else other people have said. Because I was thinking about talking commissions tonight, actually. You know, because I've never give commission advice to people. Now I've said that. For the next video, I'll put it out there to do a talk on commission painting. I'll maybe get the most out of that. Some things to think about if you're a customer for commission painting, if you're a painter for commission painting, or even if you're just thinking about commission painting, some food for thought. Because I've kind of done it at every level. You know, it's not as if I don't know what I'm on about now. You know, I've taught commission painters. So yeah, commission painting. Let's share it around everywhere. So let's get as many aspiring or current commission painters who might be struggling. You know, I'm here to help you guys. So come and pick my brains. It really is as genuine as that. Whether you believe me or not is up to you. Okay, so Colonel. Use the competition as a deadline to finish the models I want to get the most done. They all hit the game. Yeah. I mean, if that's what motivates you, then absolutely. I kind of now I don't have deadlines and things like that. I use passion to fuel, and the deadline is whatever point I finish. If that makes sense, you know. Okay, going on through Dragon Blaine. How many times would I typically enter the same paint job in multiple comps? If it was me, if it was just me, once. If it was me, I can't talk. I know there are multiple painters that'll enter a single model into multiple competitions, maybe even through multiple categories. This is a personal thing. Why me? Why is my answer one model per competition? Because I kind of like the hard way of doing things. You know, I kind of like I always like to I just like the hard way of doing things. It's as simple as that. I just kind of like the hard, simple ways. Not that I'm saying I'll go and live in a log cabin and hunt bears or out like that. But, you know, paint, brush, water, palette, model, and a hairdryer. You know, outside of that, I tend not to use anything else. And I like just a direct approach. I like it as a very purist thing. So yeah, one model per painting comp. That's what I would like. Keeps me painting, stops me just going, yeah, this model's getting me results and trophies, so I'll keep entering it. That to me is not. That's not painting, is it? That's I've painted. Now I'm just gonna keep doing the same thing, and painting comes first. But that's not to put down the painters that do want to do it that way, and that's fair enough. Colonel doesn't paint for the trophy, but to get to level up. So it would, yeah, absolutely, as many as you want if you improve. Oops. James says as many as you want if you improve it and respond well to critique. There's nothing wrong. Yeah, absolutely. This evil son saying makes me smile. My first was good at classic. Is that your first attempt at classic, Danny? Still makes you smile all this time later. I can imagine it does. Oh, you got a gold. Oh, nice one. Your first was gold at classic, right? I see what you said there. Onion Stephen joined. Do you know what? I can imagine. I've entered Golden Demon. I'm going to say seriously once, and that was because Banshee Alfonso Giraldez, because he persuaded me to. So I had the Baneblade that I painted about 5 or 6 years earlier. I had that already painted, and I entered that. And I tell you what, I got really excited when I saw the judges looking at me model. So I hadn't painted it for a competition. I hadn't painted anything to compete or anything like that. But it was such a fun process. It was unbelievable. And I got a finalist pin for that, so I was chuffed with that. So for the only time I entered a competition, Golden Demon that is, it was the last one at Birmingham actually, I think, at the NEC. But yeah, I proper loved it. I was well excited. And that's, you know, so I say I'm not a competition painter. It doesn't mean I don't enjoy it, because obviously I must enjoy it, because I did, you know. Right, moving on. Right, do I think the increase in 3D printing by general public demand for commissions will increase? Who knows? It depends how well the quality of the 3D printing is done it. Because my mate's got a 3D printer, and I wouldn't want to print and paint a model from that, or even have someone send one to me. And when I worked as a commission painter, we did have some 3D printed models. Some were good, some were bad. Most not my kind of thing. We even did some stuff for some, I think like maybe architects and things like that. But at the end of the day, the material and the quality of the prints really has to improve, I think, before that'll happen. I don't know when and how, or even where that technology's at yet, if you see what I mean. So, you know, we'll see. We shall see. So, commissions. Who's a commission painter? Or who is thinking about getting something commission painted? Don't contact me, by the way. Don't do that stuff anymore. Have you been enjoying as well the speed painting, the speed demon videos I've been doing? Because I know I have. And it's made me start thinking about doing maybe some 1 minute Instagram videos on speed painting, and see what we can do in a minute. So maybe a Space Marine shoulder pad in a minute, a face in a minute. So if you guys like to see some stuff like that, then I'll have a go at making that happen. I find speed painting, it's a bit of a blast, really, isn't it? And also, if any of you guys are in the Manchester area, you want to come and sit in the seat there and blast one out, join the ranks, then just say, because I'm always up for more of that. Or if you know anyone you think might like it, you know. Road trip. All converge on Manchester and I'll come and look after you. 2 years full time. So how have you been finding it, Mr. Phoenix? Do I have any recommendations on choosing a commission painter? There's so many out there, it can be pretty difficult to choose. Should we name them for October Speed Freak videos? Yeah. Or I could paint some orcs. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. How do you choose a commission painter? How do you choose? Look for reviews online. Don't just look for good reviews, but look for bad reviews, and see how they've been dealt with. Also, there was, I think, Spiky Bits years ago. They may have updated it, they may have not. They did a review, like an independent review of commission painters. A mystery shop to everyone, including Golem, including me. I think 50 different commission painting studios. They rank them on price, on quality, on the range of services they offer. You know, so there's a good way of having a look to see what's out there. Another one is actually just get in contact and start chatting with them. You know, so I've got friends that commission paint. You know, so you could go and see Dragonborn, go and see Matt. There's a few other Brushlicker Luke. He might be doing some commissions here and there. Obviously, there's James, Mr. Otero over at Siege. Firstly, I think you've got to find somebody you like their work first. Next thing, you've got to find somebody you obviously like their price, and then you've got to start chatting to them and chatting to some of the customers. That's what I do. It's hard to say how to choose one, because only you really know what you're looking for. You know, find the guy who produces what you're looking for. So, like, as a commission painter, here's some things I didn't like. Although I can match a lot of styles and match a lot of work, doing something that's where a commissioner will ask me to interpret somebody else's work, but they've got to realise that I'm me and I can only interpret to the best of my ability. And if they're not happy, then that's kind of not my fault. You know, they should choose the painter that actually closest matches the vision in their head. You know, what do you say there? Make sure the commission painter as well is passionate. So, like, you know, as I got ill and more ill, you know, me passion waned, and so did my ability. Make sure they're always churning things out. The other one is I wouldn't choose a commission painter that charges less. Not at all. Absolutely not at all. I'd charge a commission painter that charges the price that keeps him interested in your project. There's some good advice. You know, because you talk about the right price and best price. Well, what does that mean? Okay. Now, this is probably the crux of it all, actually. What does it mean? What's the best price? You know, if you like get, oh yeah, this guy said to do it for £2 a marine. I can't imagine if that guy is going to be enthusiastic about your project for that long, because he ain't going to be making a lot of money from that. You know, given that a marine takes quite a while to put together, mould line, paint. You know, you probably want to spend about £8 a marine or something like that. And if somebody isn't charging in that ballpark, you know, they're not going to be that fired up for it. Likewise, if you're a commission painter and you're charging crazy amounts of money, then you're probably not going to get that many customers either, you know, unless you've got a really damn good reputation. So you've got to find the price that suits both you and the painter, and if you can find that and a painter that's got a good reputation for being reliable, then I think you've nailed it then, you know. So let's... I'll write a bunch of things down, by the way, so I'm less scattered about commissions. Some things to think about it. 2 years full time, nice one. Miss Heresy, hello. Do I ever recommend? Oh, I've already done that one. I've been asked to paint some things. Commissioners hesitant to do it. Don't do it. If you're hesitant to do it, don't do it. Unless you know that you can get those models and money back to the client if you fail. So preferably someone local, preferably something small, see how you get on. If you're hesitant to do it, ask yourself why you're hesitant to do it. Is it because there's a little bit of apathy and maybe laziness? You'd rather spend your time doing other things? Then I just wouldn't do it, because you're risking your own reputation, you're risking some clients' models, and you're risking some clients' money. Don't take that risk. I know, I've done it, I've been there, I've made a lot of mistakes. And I've had to learn from a lot of mistakes. I've also had a lot of successes as well, and I've learned from them. Ultimately, though, you'll never find out unless you do it. But I'm going to put customers first in this shout. So yeah, there you go. Okay, love it. Slow to build a reputation. Yes, it is. But as long as you're honest and keep definitely good communication is key. You know, tell everyone what you're charging for, why you charge, how you charge, you know. And be strict with that as well. All makes a lot of sense in this question. What would be a suitable price for commissions? Well, all depends on where you are in the world and what you need to live, doesn't it? You know, if you're going to do it as a job, pay, you know, you charge to live properly. You know, if you get some turdy customer that goes, oh, that's more expensive, then that customer doesn't want you to live. They just want a deal that suits their pocket, and they can find that painter if they want. But I'd never make it me, and I don't really recommend that painter should make it for themselves. And don't do it for reputation points, no, because what happens is. And this has happened. I've experienced it. I've seen other painters do it. What you do is you'll get like the mates rates guys, and then all of a sudden you have to up your prices to actually live, and then all those people that you've been treating nice because you make, they go, oh no, or all them customers that you've been treating nice just to earn a good reputation. As soon as you bump the price up, what do you reckon happens to your reputation? Do you know what I mean? Don't do too many favours. You know, you can't, especially not when it comes to pricing. Price right and price honestly and price quite openly as well. Mr. Dragonblade. I've only ever commissioned painting once. I've no idea what to charge. Ended up asking for the cost of, I'm going to assume the models, that's what he said there, whenever the buyer thought the job was worth. No, because the buyer will always try and bum you over, subconsciously or not, I think. I'll just paint one model. Yeah, if you get a commissioner that comes in and goes, oh, I want you to paint 20 Empire swordsmen, get an Empire swordsman, paint. Yeah, get an Empire swordsman, paint an Empire swordsman. See how long it takes. Yeah, take your time with it. See how long it takes. Then ask yourself, what do I want paying for this time? You know, charge at a sensible hourly rate. It doesn't mean charge yourself minimum wage unless you're happy doing that. But charge to live. You know, charge to live. Go and have a look at other commission sites as well, established ones. Go and have a look at, see how much Siege charge. You know, don't worry about undercutting people either. You know, because you'll find the right customers that suit you. So yeah, there you go. Is everything still working, by the way? Things get a little bit glitchy around here for internet. That's why I don't do these videos too often. So yeah. Hey, could you see me painting okay? Because these cameras don't zoom in, unfortunately. Oh no, they do. No way! That means I can aim it down there and you guys can see some demoing. When did they change that? Right, how are we all doing, by the way? Alright, there we go. I look like Christopher Lloyd then, yeah. Right, okay, back in the room. Phoenix commissions 2 armies for close friends at first, 3 charge outside press. Have always been consistent for that reason. Yeah, good. Try to zoom yourself out now. There we go. Mr. Dave Butt. How are you? Dave Bull, even? Yeah, I said Butt. Gave you a good start, also made sure they were fairly unusual. Unusual? To stand out. Alright. I've got a Marine here, just in case anyone asks me any painting questions. He's all kind of blue, and he's kind of been painted like 3 or 4 times already. But there you go. There's some good things on a Marine. Especially like a commission painter. Here's some tips for commission painting. Think economy over quantity and quality. Think economy. It's not because there's necessarily money involved, but you will start to improve your quantity and your quality by thinking economy. Why? Because the idea of quantity and quality are results, yet the way to get there is often misunderstood. For example, the fewer brushstrokes you use, the smoother your paint will go on. The less time it takes, but the result is greater. So I've essentially said do less work, but get a higher standard. So how can I do less work, which is like the army painting side, yet get a higher standard? It's because really what I'm doing is economizing everything. When I economize the way I work on the model, that is, I don't just mean have your paint pots close at hand and everything. That's a different kind of economy. That's about speed of how you work as opposed to speed of how you apply paint. So think fewer, longer, smoother brush strokes, for example. That'll increase your quality and decrease the time you spend, which all in all is a good thing, if that makes sense. I hope it does. How much time we got left on this video? Wow, loads of time. Right, hit me up with some questions, guys. If you're still there. I hope you're still there. This thing says this 60 is still there. How awesome's Kill Team? How awesome's that, what do you call it? Oh. Managing client expectations. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, good communication. Be clear. So if you get a client, for example, that says, I love your work, I'll allow you to do whatever you want, I generally try and avoid that client because there's nothing clear about what they expect in that. You know, so you might do what you think's your best work and you might do exactly what you think's right. But if a client doesn't like it at the end, you've got an unhappy client. And I've had clients like that, and hence why I try and avoid them now. They all say, do what you want, yet really the entire process is then hindered by them trying to turn you around to actually doing what they want, and they could have started off being pretty clear. That's one good thing. Yeah, managing expectations. Yeah, that's what I said earlier on. Tell them what you charge, why you charge for what it is. And what I don't mean is, oh, I charge to live. You know, you say you charge this much for construction, this much for mould lining, this much for bolter drilling, this much for base coat shade highlight or a base coat wash, dry brush or whatever it is. You know, so make sure you're clear about what it is you're doing and why. No hidden things. Tell them at the end of the commission how much it's going to cost to pack and post. Yeah, because remember, if you're like doing a 3,000 or 4,000 point army, how much of your day you're going to spend wrapping, packing and posting? Yeah, bear things in mind, man. Hey, Mr. Danish, how are you? I'm good. Quick question: did I enjoy running the fundamental weekends, and would I consider doing more? Yeah, I enjoyed them a lot, and I am considering doing more of them. Since I've been ill, my confidence has been a little bit down, and that's translated in my motivation for getting more events rolling again. Part of it is maybe my own insecurity in that because I've not been that active, I don't think I would put bums on seats. You know, I feel at the moment that maybe the state of affairs is, you know, you go and see David Soper, you go and see Andy Wardle, go and see Richard Gray, go and see Banshee. You know, all these guys are running great courses and they've got a real present reputation. You know, I'm a little bit yesteryear at the moment, so in order to do that, I'd feel more comfortable if I was painting at my top end again, which I'm not, because my passion kind of lies, you know, if there's the pinnacle of my painting, you know, which not many people have seen. I don't really do it that often. You know, I kind of teeter around here, if that makes sense. So I'd need to start showing off again, maybe do another Ragnar, do another Flower Night, or things like that. Another Ragnar, another Flower Night, and some other things, yeah, because how long's it been since I've done an event, and what's been produced in that time? Again, this is just all me and my own insecurities. And I think there's other things that I'd need to develop as well. But like Mr. Forte Nocturnus says, fundamentals are always needed. And if I'm honest, I don't think there's anyone teaching them, especially not in the way I do. I definitely know the way I teach painting is different to anything and anyone. And again, this is without arrogance. The way I teach painting is different to the way anyone is teaching it. Any guide is definitely it's definitely my way of looking at it. But when I do teach, and this goes for the fundamentals courses, I do teach the same information in pretty much the same way as I do when I teach one-to-one, and I base as much of that information on as much fact as possible. I take my opinions out of it, and I teach cause and effect. This is what happens if you do this. This is what happens if you do this. If you do these things will happen. You know, and they're inescapable causes and effects. And once you know what those causes and effects are, painting becomes less about skill and more about making better choices. Again, I was telling a friend in work today, he was going, "Oh no, I can't paint, I can't." I said, everyone can paint, and everyone can paint really well. And I mean this, by the way. Everyone can paint, and everyone can paint really well. It all depends on the decisions you make. The kind of the skill you've got almost has very little to do with it. You know, make more better decisions, and you, like for example, fewer longer, smoother strokes. That's a decision to make. You know, so it's building a painter. Teaching somebody to paint is more like carving a model. You know, the sculpture's already in the block of wood, or already in the marble. It's already there. That fantastic painter is already in you. Right, in a weird way. It's already in you, and it's up to me really to not to add. It's up to me to chip away the bullshit that you've been taught. And that's generally what all my painting lessons do. Is they teach you that actually your brains have been scrambled a little bit somewhere along the lines, and that like here you go. Here's two ideas: display painting and army painting. You know, people consider them two entirely different things, and I don't see them as two entirely different things. I see them as, if you look at them as economy, you'll find out that they're the same thing, exactly the same thing. There's no such thing as beginner techniques and advanced techniques. Get that in your head. There's a big thing. So beginner techniques, advanced techniques are the same techniques. Just do them better. Yeah. Get your beginner techniques. So that's why I called it the fundamentals course. Yeah, because it is the fundamentals. It's not beginner techniques. They're fundamentals. You're either good at them or you're bad at them. Like for example, walking in a straight line is one of the most simple things you can do. Get really good at it, and you can do it along a thin tether. See what I mean? It's just get good at it. Walking in a straight line, left foot, right foot, keeping one in front of the other. Simple, yeah. Not so simple when you're doing it between the towers of World Trade Center like that French guy did. You know, so you really work on your basics. Stop looking for the next best brush that you think is going to make you the next best painter. Stop looking for the next best flow enhancer, flow improver. This is a rant I have all the time. Stop thinking a wet palette is going to be the answer to your dreams. You know, it's been 40 degrees here in Manchester. I'm still on a dry palette, and I've not struggled. Don't go, "Oh well, you're you," or "Oh well, I'm in a furnace." You know, whatever your excuses are, bring it on. You know, because ultimately, I've not struggled for a reason. It's because I make better choices using my brush, using my palette, using my water. And again, I try and get that across without arrogance, because I believe you all can do it. And generally, when people come and see me for painting, they prove it that they can do it. You know, they get to see it firsthand with me, and they get to have a go themselves, and it works. You know, I say it works. There's no it. It's I work, and they work. You know, I'll give you an example. My paint keeps drying out. You know, no, the paint is meant to dry out. It's doing its job. You've just failed to manage it doing its job. If your paint's drying out, it's because you've done something wrong. You know, or you've allowed it to do those things. That makes sense. Let's go back there, because you've got active, as I've got all giddy and passionate about this. You can see how giddy I get about it. You've all woken up and all. Right, okay. Fundamentals are always needed. Yes, they are. Which model would I like to paint next? I'm doing these nights, Mr. Dragon Blaine. Doing these nights. Do you mean? And if you mean at a top standard, do you know what? I'm kinda a little bit excited about some of the Stormcast Eternal models, if I'm honest, and mainly because of that guy. I wouldn't mind doing a few more of these. quite interested with that. But you know, there is new Space Wolves. I do have my Kill Team Necromunda Shadow War board over there to finish. There's so much on my plate at the moment. I don't really know where to turn. Any tips on creating texture in paint? For example, worn damaged materials as opposed to normal chipping. Use a sponge. Use stippling. Use a sponge. Learn how to let go but not be scruffy. And also use reference material. Now, if you mean physical texture, actual lumps in your paint, then use dry paint, use a sponge, use a dry brush. Actually, like somebody who plasters a wall puts texture into a wall by use ideas like that. Okay. Oh, mate. Thank you, Steve. There isn't so many painters you speak to recommend my lessons. Thank you. Cheers, man. It means something to me, that, you know, because for me, I literally would have a student every day and I'd teach that same lesson every day. And it's not because I'm easily entertained, but it's that when I see the penny drop, that's the point I really enjoy. I'll never get sick of seeing the penny dropping in every student's behind their eyes. I do it for that. I literally just do it for that. So let's move on. I'm sure it won't help the self-doubt, but I'm confident I would put... Oh, thank you. Cheers, guys. Cheers for all your supports. Past and future are not harming me. It's merely the memories and imagination be present. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hi, Janine, Miss Crime World. You okay? Positive vibes all your way. Pleased to hear someone say that brushes exit. Yeah, well, it's true. It's true. Nate Satan. I was listening to Chef Gordon Ramsay and he was saying something similar. To win a Michelin star, I said, it's actually about doing the simple things excellently. Yeah, because, you know, I watch MasterChef, you know, and you get some of these triple rosettes restaurants, especially, I remember one in Norway, and he only used raw food, and they were all vegetables, and they were just arranged nicely and well chosen to go together. Perfect. You know. So if I said something like there's only 3 kind of brush strokes, it's only 3, you have to do is choose. If I said you only need 1 of those kind of brush strokes to really be a good painter, would you know what that one is? My students will. I'm going to tease you with that one. Yeah. You need a palette, you need a good brush with a good brush stroke. A good brush is one you've chosen that keeps a nice point. Yeah, brand side. I've got my personal favourites. I really like it. Again, I can't ever sing Element Games brushes. I can't sing their praises enough. They're really good for me. For me. You know, but again, going to different types of brushes, I could do a chat on that one time. Rant. Salamanders, when do I think a painter should start pushing themselves in terms of techniques like non-metal metallics? You know, it's a cliche technique. Cliche, maybe not. A good technique to learn because, right, here you go. It's non-metal metallics is a result, not technique. Technique is how you achieve the result. The next thing is non-mets. Non-mets is an illusion, right? It's an illusion. Let's say, so for non-mets, I'll choose a mid-brown, a reddy brown, and a black. And then mid-brown, a bony colour, and a white. So you've got them 3 colours. Let's say I take that mid-brown out and I replace it with a skin colour. Yeah? What am I then painting? And I apply all the same ideas to, say, painting skin. You know, so have I painted a metallic face in skin colour, or have I just put realistic highlights on skin? Yeah, so the idea in non-mets is less about painting metals. It's more about choosing more focused and more, you might say more advanced ways of placing highlights and shadows. You know, so you start to think about things like that. You know, start to think about, well, actually, there's a little bit of blagging going on. You know, so again, you take them 3 colours in the middle, and you swap the 3 paints out for a mid-red, a dark red, and a an orange, you know, and you get this non-metallic red, or, you know, some people see non-metallic red, where other people see a shiny glossy red. Well, which is it? You know, so is it really what you think it is? Like, if you look at the way to highlight cloth, if you highlighted cloth in the same way you did non-mets, would you get a shiny cloth, or would you get more realistic highlights on cloth? And it all depends on what method of non-mets you're following, whether you're doing like a rule of cool or a rule of jewel, or like a very real kind of thing. But again, they're a bit more, assuming you know what it is I mean by those things, you know. When should you start though? Start now. Early. You know, I painted a non-met gold Studio McVeigh model in 4 hours, you know, because I decided to sacrifice the blends. The blends aren't essential. It's called Broga. See if you can. I'm not sure if there's many pictures of him in many places anywhere. Mainly because Photo Bucket made everything private, didn't they? The turds. But yeah, it's not about good blends, by the way. It's about choosing the right colour for the right places. And if your reference material is good, you shouldn't have to think about that. You know, put the light colour there, the dark colour there, the mid colour in the middle. You see what I mean? It's as simple as that. I thought about Celestial, mate. I like Games Workshop, mate, as opposed to bigger scale models. I'm very much a Games Workshop fan, and you know, I've tried branching out, and I'd like to stay with Games Workshop unless something really ticks my box, like another orc bust, the Big Child orc busts. Keep that up, lads. Tips to painting great terrain. I tell you what, there's loads here, isn't there? Tips to painting great terrain would be good if we've had some fantastic terrain. We've understand how to dry brush. Everyone dry brushes badly. Dry brushing is put out there as a beginner, easy, scruffy technique. No, it's not. It's a great technique if you know how to make it great. So use less paint. Don't use less paint. Use more paint, but dry your brush more. So when you think it's dry and ready to use, actually dry it twice as much again. Change the directions of your brush and start learning how to dry brush a little bit more. If you're talking about armoured panels on buildings, well, that's just going to be the same as tanks. So if you're working on tanks, you know, work on that. And weathering a building is the same as weathering a tank. But I'd say aim at dry brushing. Angels of the Plague. Hello, I'm going to wave at you. There we go. Sorry if I'm too slow with all this. Right. Oh, there we go. I'm at the end. Trying to teach yourself currently. Steady progress, but happy for a beginner. Let's wave at Craig Jones as well. Seen some Gene calligraphy in tiny posters, which are cool. Yeah, man, absolutely. So yeah, use a printer and just reduce everything down to size, like half a stamp size and things like that. Yeah, absolutely. I remember doing that for World War II sniper that I did. I got like a Russian propaganda poster to go on the wall. It was a lot of fun. That really enjoyed that a lot. Have I answered everyone's questions? I kind of started rushing then a little bit because I figured there'd just be like a load racked up. In fact, let's just check the time. So there's going to be like seconds left, by the way. So guys, I'm going to say thank you. Yep, half a stamp. I'm going to say thank you for coming tonight. If you've got any questions or any other ideas for videos that I want to do, then give me a shout. There's 26 seconds remaining. If I can save this video, I'll post it up on YouTube again. And if I can't, like generally the way it is, then I can't. Sorry, dude. Guys, thank you and good night. Oh no, there we go. We're going from that way instead of seeing a big thumb. Ooh.